If you take coding, okay, so two types of codings we are using here. One is client-side code. Second one is server-side code. Okay. In website coding point of view, we have two types. What the first one? Client-side code. Second one is server-side code. So where client-side code executes? Yes. Executes in browser. Where the server-side code executes? Executes in server. Web server. Server means nothing but web server. Like that, we have these two types of scriptings. The first one is client-side script, and second one is server-side script. Yes. Yeah. So the client-side script executes in browser, and the server-side script executes in web server. So that is the concept. Okay. Yes. Now, React.js is client-side script, not only React.js. So if you take JavaScript and next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, all this comes under client-side scripting languages. Is this clear? Yes. So JavaScript, React, Angular, all these are client-side scripting languages, and these languages execute where? In browser. The code of what is the code you implemented? That code executes in browser. Okay. Server-side script examples. What are the technologies? For example, if you implement any logic by using PHP or ASP.NET or JSP, all this comes under server-side scripting languages. Okay, PHP, ASP, JSP, all these are server-side scripting languages. Like that, we have these two types of scriptings. The first one is client-side scripting language, and second one is server-side scripting language. So client-side scripting language executes in browser, and server-side scripting language executes in web server. That is the concept. Now React.js is an open source client-side script. So where we are using client-side scripts, that also we discussed. Okay, just I'm sharing this points again. So client-side scripts, if we take, okay, we can use to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. That's the first point. What is that? To apply the dynamic functionalities on the HTML controls. By default, HTML controls are static controls. Means the properties of the controls we cannot change once it is loaded in browser. Okay, we cannot change the properties of controls once loaded in browser. So by using these client-side technologies, we can do that. For example, yesterday we have seen one example. Okay, image source I have given in the program. So like something like mango.jpg, it is loaded with that source. Later, I want to change in browser. So that source I want to change or width I want to increase in browser. By default with HTML, not possible. Further, we are taking the support of this client-side scripts. Okay, so we will discuss more examples related to this in further classes. Second one, to provide validations. So if you take registration form, login form like that, all these forms contains validations. Okay. So you want to apply the validations on the HTML controls. Then also you're taking the support of this client-side technologies. Okay. Next one, to execute logics. Yeah. So what are the logics we implemented using this client-side scripts like React, JavaScript, etc. Those logics execute in browser. That's why the performance is very, very fast. That is the main advantage. This clear? The performance is very, very fast. So in this point of getting the support of this client-side technologies to execute logics where in browser. Okay. Next one, to work with Ajax. Yeah, you want to work with this Ajax concept. Then also we're taking the support of this client-side scripting languages. This clear? So to work with Ajax. So in that point of view, we are using this client-side scripting languages. Like that, these are the different locations. I will explain you how to call the API services by using Ajax. What is Ajax? Okay. So those all concepts we'll discuss. And one more point we discussed in the yesterday class, who implemented this React.js? Mr. Jordan Walkie, along with the other team members of Facebook in the year 2013. Yes, Jordan Walkie implemented this React.js, which year 2013, along with the other members of Facebook. So the main reason behind the implementation is he wanted to apply, okay, some concepts in the Facebook chart. Okay, for that he implemented this React.js to apply some concepts in the Facebook chart. Okay, to implement, apply means here not apply, implement some concepts. So the main purpose is internal purpose is to work with the Facebook. Later they added many more features and released it as external technology. Means outsiders also started working with this React. So like that these days in every website, okay, most of the logics implemented with this React.js. That is the concept. Okay. Yes. So it belongs to which corporation? That is Facebook. Yeah. So this is the concept we discussed in last class. The key points are React.js is a client-side script. Second point, to download the website, coding point of view, we are using two types of logics, means two types of scripts. One is client-side, another one is server-side. So client-side execution browser. Okay, for example, here I'm going to open one website like yes, here. Google. Now I'm the client of this Google, right? So that site is downloaded into my browser. Now if I right click and go with that inspect, not inspect, yes. Okay. For example, here, right click and go with that view page source. So this is the code of Google. This is the client side code. Like that, Facebook, Flipkart is open. Okay, I typed that Flipkart is open. Now here, right click and view page source. So this is the code of Flipkart, which is downloaded in my browser, client side code. Means first it downloads into the client system, there it executes. That is the concept of this. Okay. Yeah, where we are in this client side scripts, okay, to validations, the HTML controls, and to apply the dynamic functionalities on the HTML controls, and to execute some logics in browser, and to work with the Ajax. Okay, so in this point of view, we're taking the support of this client side scripting languages. Got it? Yes, I hope you clear with this, right? Now, we are discussing what are the features of React.js. Okay. Yeah. So we will discuss comparisons with Java and Angular also. Okay. First one, React supports data binding. Yes, React supports what? Data binding. So what is this data binding? Yes. So I will show you one diagram. For example, you are creating a variable like serial number is equal 100. Okay. So this is the variable you are creating. So variables we are using to store some values. So later I will discuss what is variable and how many types of variables we have. Everything we'll discuss. But right now we are using this variable in our discussion. So if you new for this variable, just remember one point. So variables we are using to store some values. That's all. Okay. At the time of calculation and all, we are using these variables to store the values. For example, you want to calculate uh, EMI. So for that EMI calculation, some values are required, like principal amount, tenure, like that. Yes, in that point of view, we are storing these values in variables. Is it clear? Yes. Now, anyhow, I have taken one variable, serial number is of 100. This variable I want to display on one HTML control like text box and button or anything. So for that, generally, we are implementing some logic in JavaScript. Okay. Or if you use any other technologies, okay, there we are writing some logics to display the variables on controls. Okay, this logic reads that variable and displaying on this control. Like that, here we're getting 100. In case if this variable is modified as 200, my question is without re-execution of this code, can we display here? No, it is not possible. You have to re-execute this code again. Like that every time when the variable is updated, okay, so that variable value we are displaying on the HTML control. So with the execution of this code, okay. So now the problem is not a single variable. We are taking many variables, right? Taking many variables. So if you want to execute every time these type of logics, it is complex task for the programmer. Okay, so many variables values will update and many logics you need to run on back of this to get those updates. So for that, this React is providing not only React, Angular also providing one concept, that is data binding concept. So using this concept, we are creating a link between the variable and HTML control. So for that, some properties are available. Okay, using these properties, we are creating one link. So what is the purpose of this link? Yes, without execution of any code. Yes, without execution of any code, the variable values are coming into this HTML controls. So that is the concept of this. Is it clear? Yes. So this concept we are calling as data binding. So whenever the variable is updated, so that value is available in this HTML control. Okay. So actually two types of data bindings we have. Okay. One way and two way data binding. That concept we'll discuss later. Here the thing is, okay. So it supports data binding. Okay. But in JavaScript, that concept is not there. Next one supports many validators. So different types of pre-implemented validators are available. Directly, we can use those validators. Okay, different types of validators we have. We are using those validators directly. Is it clear? Yes. In JavaScript, we are writing logics to validate the controls. But here, okay, it is very simplified. So even Angular also supports this concept. Next one supports, yeah, single page application. We're also calling it as routing. Why these technologies React Angular popular? Because of data binding and single page application. These are the major roles. Even Angular also support this one, okay, but not JavaScript. What is single page application? Just overview I will give you now. We are spending around 1 week with this concept. Okay. What is a single page application? For example, here this is the web server. In this web server, we have the pages like this. Yeah. This is a home page. And next one. This is about us. And this is contact. It's like that. Yes, we have the pages. Now, this is the browser which we have. Okay. Yes. We are sending a request from this browser to server. First, home page is loading. That home page, generally, we are placing the hyperlinks for about us page and contact us page. When user click on this about us, one more request we are sending. Okay. The response is coming back here. If user click on the contact us, one request is sending and there's a response is coming back. Means every time what is happening, request is going to the server and the response is coming back to the browser. Yes, every time it is happening here. Yes. One request is going to the server and the request related response is coming back to the browser. That is the concept. Okay. Fine. So it increases the network traffic because not a single person, many hundreds of thousands of people access these websites. Okay, so from every user, if the requests are coming continuously, okay, if the requests are coming continuously from every user, so it decreases the performance. So for that, to avoid that, they introduced the single page application concept in this React Angular technology. So what is the purpose of the single page application? Yes, the main purpose is nothing but, so they are creating one object that we are creating, not this, sorry. We are creating one object, so that is routing object. We are calling it as routing object. So in this object, we are holding all these pages, home, about us, contact us, etc., etc. When user sends a first request, then that object is loading here. Now here in this object, so downloads home, about us, and contact us line. Yes. So if user click on this about us, then it is loading from here, and contact us, it is loading from here. Means from next time onwards, so no need to go to the server to fetch the data. Only first time the request is going to the server and it is getting the all pages. Those pages will store in the cache memory location of browser. Yes. Where this page is storing? The cache memory location of browser. That is the point of this. Okay. Yes. So this is about single page application concept. So here only we are discussing how to work with authentication, authorization, role-based routing, etc., etc. Okay, so I told you we are spending around 1 week to 8 days with this concept. Very, very important. Next one, supports JSX format. Yes, this JSX is not available in Angular also. Only React support the JSX. So what is the full form of JSX? JavaScript XML. What the benefit of this? We can combine HTML and JavaScript code. Generally, what happens if I write the HTML inside the JavaScript, it gives the error message. But using React, we can write the HTML inside the JavaScript. For example, I'm executing some code of JavaScript, okay, piece of code, JavaScript code I'm executing. That result I want to display on the table or any other control. So if you take JavaScript, okay, separate code we are writing in JavaScript and HTML we are writing separately. Later, after execution, we are calling the HTML and we are displaying the table. That is very big task. But when you are using this React.js, okay, directly you can combine that JavaScript with HTML. Means inside the React also we are using JavaScript code. Okay, that we are combining with the HTML. So after execution of some piece of code, that result you want to display in any HTML control. So immediately you can place that control inside that code only. Okay, no need to write the control separate file and call into this code. That entire procedure is not required. So this is the concept of support JSX format. Okay, I will explain you how to work with that JSX format. Next one supports virtual DOM. Yes, this virtual DOM is also not there in Angular. Yes, so it is also supporting virtual DOM concept. So this virtual DOM is not there in Angular. What is this virtual DOM? I will discuss later. Okay, it is one in-memory object. Okay, so first we need to discuss what is DOM. Okay, and how the DOM nodes are creating and what is virtual DOM. So like that, this is some dependency discussion. So that's why I'll discuss later. But one point you should remember, because of this virtual DOM, the performance of React application is faster. Yes, than Angular. So faster means don't expect, okay, minutes and hours. So it is in seconds and milliseconds point of view. Okay. Yes. Now I will show you in web what is this virtual DOM. Okay, now you will get the clarity. So now here, just open. Yeah. So use of virtual DOM in React.js. Okay. So performance point of it is useful for us. Okay. Yeah. See, you can see here significantly enhances the efficiency and performance of user interfaces at the time of updating. Okay. So these are all the DOM nodes. We'll discuss that later. Don't think about that. Okay. So virtual DOM is available in this React.js because of this virtual DOM. So the performance of application is fast. Okay, at the time of updating the data. Okay. So remember this point for time being. Okay. Later we'll discuss how the DOM is creating and how the virtual DOM is creating everything. Okay. Next one. Supports many services. Yes, these services we are using in functional point of view. So in JavaScript, you want to implement any function, okay, any concept. I mean, you want to implement any concept, we need to write the lines of code. But in this, so predefined services are available. Directly, we can use those services. So it supports what? Many services like this. Okay. Yes. So predefined services are available. So it helps us to implement the functionalities. For example, you want to work with the Ajax concept. So in JavaScript, we are writing the logics, okay, lines of code. But here, some predefined services are available. Directly, we can use. So these services also available in Angular, not only React.js, okay. Yes. Next one, I told you React.js we are using to develop the web applications. Okay. Not only web applications, mobile applications also we can develop using React.js with the support of another technology, that is native technology. Is it clear? Yes. So now here, React Native we can use to implement cross mobile applications. Yes. So what the purpose of this? Cross mobile applications. First of all, what is native? Native is one technology to create the mobile related activities, means forms everything. See, in websites, for designing HTML, we are using and coding React. Okay, like that, these technologies we are using. If you come to that mobile, for designing, we are using native. Okay, and for coding, React we can use. And I told you one more point, cross mobile applications. What is the meaning of cross mobile applications? What the meaning of this? Yes. Cross mobile applications means a mobile app supports any type of device. For example, if you develop any app by using Android, it supports Android mobiles. Yes, it will not run under iPhone. If you develop any app using iPhones, it supports iPhone, not run with Android. But if you take some technologies like PhoneGap, okay, and React Native, etc., these technologies supports any type of mobile. Okay, so if you develop a React Native app, it supports Android mobile, iPhone mobile, and all. That is the main advantage. Means not only website development, even you can also do mobile application development. Okay, yes. That is one more advantage we have in this React. Okay. Yeah. But you want to work with the mobile development. Additionally, you should learn this native. And this course is completely web development point of view discuss. Yes. Completely will discuss in web development point of view, not mobile development. Remember that point. Okay. Next one, coding is very simple. Okay. Yes. Simple coding. Yeah, this is the main advantage of this. So JavaScript, if you take JavaScript, we need to write number of lines coding. Okay, for every functionality. That is very much simplified in this React.js. Yes, very much simplified. So that is the main advantage. Is this clear? Yeah. So coding is very, very simple. Yeah. I hope you clear this concept. So any doubts, any questions you have in this point? Hmm? Okay. Now the main question is why React is popular than Angular? Okay. See, Angular also good in this industry, software industry, but compared with this Angular, we have some more openings with this React.js. What the reason for that? Yes. So I told you some points here, like it supports JSX, but not Angular. And React supports virtual DOM, but not Angular. And mobile application implementation is very flexible with this React.js. And the next point is React is library, Angular is framework. Okay, means library provides simple okay functionalities. Okay, some packages are available directly. We can use these packages. But Angular is very big one. Okay, that's why a learning curve with this Angular is more than this React JS. Okay, so that's why easily we can learn this React compared with the Angular. And next point, if you want to work with this React JS, so JavaScript knowledge is enough. But you want to work with that Angular, TypeScript is also required. Okay. Now here React JS we can use along with either JavaScript or TypeScript also. So the packages of React, the libraries of React, you can use access with either JavaScript or TypeScript. Anyone we can use here. But the packages of Angular you want to access, compulsory you should learn this TypeScript. Okay. It means here JavaScript is enough. This is your choice, optional. You want to use TypeScript, you can use TypeScript also. But Angular compulsory, TypeScript is required. Means some additional efforts we need to pay to work with this React.js. Now, in company's point of view, we'll discuss. So, in companies from past few years, many JavaScript programmers working, and if they want to look for the next technology to upgrade their skills, obviously they will look with this React.js because already JavaScript they know. Then they can easily go with this React.js. Like that, many teams are established in companies with this React.js. That's why if any company is looking for the new resource to add with that team, so the new resource must be React. So that's why we have more openings on this React.js compared with this Angular. Okay, and React.js belongs to Facebook Corporation. Angular belongs to Google. Okay. Yes. So React belongs to Facebook, Angular belongs to Google. And JavaScript belongs to Netscape Corporation. Later it is adopted by Sun Microsystem. And TypeScript belongs to Microsoft Corporation. Okay. Like that, anyhow, these are the features of this React.js and some differences. Now, see, in Angular, also some advantages we have. Okay, I'm not telling a React only having advantages over Angular. Okay, even Angular also some advantages. What are these advantages? Okay, or some additional features. I told you data binding, right? In this data binding point of view, one-way data binding and two-way data binding, two types are there. For one-way data binding, direct properties are available here. But two-way data binding, we need to write some manual logics. But in Angular, for both, we have properties. And next point is Angular is framework. Okay. Framework means everything it is providing. Everything it is providing. But React is library. Means for some functionalities, we are depending on the third-party packages. But Angular point of view, everything is available in Angular only. That's why I told you learning is taking much time. The learning curve is more than React for Angular because many functionalities are available in this Angular. But React, if you take here, for some functionalities, we are depending upon the third-party packages. So that is the point of this. Anyhow, so every technology has positive negatives. But in current situation, both technologies are playing very, very important role in the software industry. We have Vue.js, and Backbone.js, Vanilla.js, Nest.js like that. But compare with this all JS, React, Angular, these are popular. In this React, Angular, so React is more better than Angular in openings point of view. Is it clear? Yeah. So all these concepts we have in Angular also, except like JSX and virtual DOM, okay, and mobile development, a bit big concept in Angular compared with this React. Okay, React is very flexible to work with this mobile application development. Both are component programming. So, what is component? I will discuss later. And here in React, we can create the functional components as well as class components, but Angular only class components. We can't create the functional components. And React provides different types of lifecycle hooks. Like that, many more differences are there. But in day one class, if I discuss all these points, okay, can't understand. Okay, based on the concepts wise, again, we will discuss the differences between these two technologies. Then you will get much clarity because if you know the concept, then you can easily compare that, right? So that is the main point of this. Anyhow, these are the features of this React. Yes. So now we are ready to start the programming in this React JS. But before starting the programming, as I told you, we should have idea on the JavaScript. Okay. So that's the first I will start the JavaScript concepts. Okay. Then only we'll discuss the React.js concepts. Around 20 sessions minimum we are spending with JavaScript. After that, React.js. We will start. Total core duration is 65 days like that. Okay. And these demos, 4 demos they are providing to you, I guess. Okay. After that, the link will change. Okay. So demos we are spending around 50 minutes like that, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. After 1 hour session is there. And next point is, okay, I will provide you the Google Drive access once this demo is completed. Okay, you will get the Google Drive access, those who are registered. Okay, there you can find out the class notes and that class recording. Okay, programs, everything. Yes, and this is the pattern which we are following. So before the discussion of next topic, okay, so any questions, any doubts you have in these points, you can ask me now. You can unmute your mic to ask the questions, or you can send me the messages. Tej, Kumar, Praveen. So these points clear.
Yeah, they're clear.
Okay. What is React.js? Is it client-side script or server-side script?
Client side.
Client-side script is the product of
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Where we are using client-side script? So Windows application development or web application?
Web application.
Web
Web
application.
application. Web applications, right? So here, which why we are using the server-side scripts in web application? Server-side scripts like .NET ASP, .NET JSP to connect with the database
Database.
of
Yeah.
website and to create the sessions tokens like that. Those are not possible with client-side scripts because website database is available where in client system or server mission. Huh? In server, right?
Server.
So that's why using server-side script, okay, we can connect with the database. But the table information you want to display in the front end, then again, the combination of server side as well as client side both are required. Okay, so that programming I will explain to you with the Ajax, how to call the server side API services and how to display that information in the front end. So those things we'll discuss. No worries. Okay. So where we are in the client side case for validations and browser related any functionalities and to display content on the browser in a meaningful way and the user actions to handle the user actions like click mouse over etc. Okay, so when user moves the mouse and image you want to increase the size or if user click on any icon so that a specific location you want to capture, so like that. Okay, so that type of browser related all activities we can handle with client side technologies. So it is not possible with server side technologies. Okay, so as we are developer we are working with the client side technologies. Okay. Yes. So this is the concept. These features related programs we'll discuss one by one later. So I hope you got the clarity. In next class, I will start the JavaScript concepts. Okay. So you can collect the course content from main office. Okay. They will provide the course content. So what are the topics we have? Those topics, everything we will discuss. I hope you don't have any more doubts, right? And we can conclude this. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you.
See you in the next class. I can drop now. Thank you.
Thank you.